Morning, everybody. I'm impatient, so why wait? Can I get an audio check? Anybody hear me out there in the wide, wide world of sports? Morning, everybody. Oh, why wait? And again, if anybody is feeling up to being chatty, let me know. I'll be happy to send you a link and you can hop on in and join in the fun. Morning, Nola. How are you? What key that came off? Sound is a bit low, huh? All right. See if I can do anything about that. Access, I don't want that. All right. That any better in the audio department? Or am I still quiet? If it keeps sounding quiet, I'll just swap to a different mic and see if that's any better. What's everybody up to today? Rock out with your lockout. All right. And we got a good turnout this morning. Remember, do me a favor, hit that like. See, this morning I've got a whopping 152 subscribers. So we are a climbing. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I'm still working on the whole sound thing and making sure I get things sounding right. So appreciate the feedback. Let me know it was low. Glad it's sounding better. Of course, maybe it's just me needing to speak up a little bit too. Grouchy Lenny, good morning. So I was just going to show you guys this thing real quick. I went by Harbor Freight the other day. I know, and picked up one of their locks. Man, that is one heavy beast. And quite honestly, the finish on this thing is incredible. The lock sucks, but the finish is incredible. That thing is stiff, gritty. I've lubed it. I'm going to tear it all apart, polish it up a little bit, see what I can do with this core, see if I can make it a little better lock. And it's just a nice looking lock. And nice if I could actually make it usable. Looks like I might be able to do something with it. So we'll see. The other thing I found in there, kind of neat little packaging for them. Bunch of these little mini magnets. I've already found a couple of uses for those. They are great. You tried to put a master core in there, master core fit. Hola. You know, yeah, thanks for that, Nola. I had put it out there once, but it was a couple of days ago, so it never hurts to update, right? I can do that. Pocket moment. I think I have you in here, right? I think we've talked before, haven't we not? And if not, I'll look for you. You are easy to find. Gotta pour me a little more coffee, guys. Be patient. I'm not all the way caffeined up yet. All right. My wife's not up yet, so somebody's got to cuss me out using my mug. Don't know what to do if I don't have somebody cussing me out. That's how that works. One of the things I'm going to work on for the next couple of days is I'm going to put together and I'm going to throw out the Blue Whale Challenge. Do a white through blue belt rocks. And I guess the goal is to try and pull it off in under 10 minutes. See what I can do with that. I think I can get there. The worst one I've got, the slowest one for me to open, honestly, is my American 1100. Yeah, I think they turned out great, man. That coffee mug turned out stellar. The graphics look good on there. Grabbed a mouse pad from them as well. Same thing, man. The mouse pad just pops. Like it. Like it, like it. Figured since I was using their storefront, I could add some of their merch and throw a few things on it. So, yeah, love this mat. Lockjaw. Really like the mat. The only issue that I've run into with it is if you use the pinning tray that it has built in over here, there's little kind of recessed notches on the edge of these, and the pins can drop in there, and they can be kind of a pain to get out. You can get them, but they can be a pain. Part of the fun, right? But yeah, Lockjaw Manufacturing, man, beautiful stuff. Need to clean it. I don't know what I got on here, but I've got black stains all over. I've got my little mini vacuum cleaner I use to clean up after I've been doing stuff on here. Actually works pretty good. Better than I would have expected. And here's an idea for you guys on just how old I am. Thumb drive. And if I remember right, it's like maybe 8 meg. No, it's a little bigger than that, but it's very, very tiny because it's incredibly old. Yep, yep. Lockjaw Manufacturing. Beautiful stuff. It's extremely well made, extremely thick. I mean, it's a great mat. Great, great mat. I was hoping to have some new items to show off today, but Postal Service said it was going to be delivered yesterday. Yeah, I didn't make it. Yeah, that's what I've noticed. It seems to really pick up and stain easy. I don't know. I'll try cleaning it a little bit with some cleaner and see what happens. But yeah, Lockjaw's got amazing stuff. 44 Delta's got amazing stuff, right? Their plug followers are great. I've got a few things from 44 Delta. Their core holder. There's some amazing companies out there making some really, really cool stuff. They really are. Link you dropped in chat about Vader. No, I must have missed that one. I haven't caught up on all the chat yet. Which chat was it in? I've got so many chats I'm following out there, it's tough to keep track. Yeah. Yeah, both of them, Lockjaw and 44 Delta, their prices are quite good, I think, especially when you compare them with what else is out there in the market. Yeah, I've thought about building my own. Thought about finding what I want. I'll have to check that out, Noah. And going down, same place I did my engraving at. They've got a slew of 3D printers that are available for use. Maybe go down there and fire up and print my own out. Oh, I really doubt that, Nola. Takes more than a Vader joke to punch me in the feelers. I'd restream it on here and share it with everybody, but probably get in trouble from, the overlords for that kind of thing. There we go. It's really weird the things that YouTube gets upset about. I thought about bringing down my new toy to show off, but I figure they'd probably throw a fit about that too. Even though it literally is a toy. But for Christmas, my wife had bought me a wood model replica Tommy gun, and it shoots rubber bands. And I finally got after it and put it together last night. The thing took me about 3.5 hours to build. Man, it is a lot of very tiny parts, and I am an old fart. Don't have good eyes. It sucks. Good morning, Pocket Woman. How are you today?
G'day. Can you hear me? I'm doing good.
Oh, yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Oh, cool. Just gotta close off some of these tabs so I can find it on my computer. I've got so many things open because I was in the middle of watching Locksport videos and I saw your stream pop up and I thought, oh, Greyhound's going live. Cool, awesome.
Well, I appreciate you hopping in. It's
Oh,
always
I'm
nice to
glad to
have
be
somebody
able
else
to
to
do it.
talk to other than myself. I try to keep up with the chat. Sometimes that's tough to do too, but
Yeah,
that's all
it's
right. Like,
just takes a little bit of getting used to. How's
I don't know
everyone
how some of these
going?
guys do it that stream from their phones.
Oh, I
That's just
couldn't.
not
Phone
enough
is
screen for
different.
me.
Yeah, yeah, I'll use my phone to follow the chat when I'm, like I'll have my phone in front of me so I can, well, at the side really depends on where the camera is in the way. So because everything's in the way, cables are in the way, cameras are in the way, phones are in the way, and all I want to get
Yeah,
to is my locks and my pics.
that's been my
So
struggle too, is figuring out the right way to mount a camera. So I've got using my cell phone over here just to the side of me, so it's not in the way of me trying to work. And then I've got an
yeah,
overhead camera up here
yeah.
that just shoots straight
Oh,
down that I
cool.
use
You've got your
sometimes
other
to do things.
camera.
Yeah,
Nice.
I've actually have 3 cameras, and then I have another one if I actually wanted to show my ugly mug. I've got a third camera that's facing me.
Ah, cool.
But nobody needs that kind of negativity early in the morning, so
Yeah, well, it's just gone 1:30 in the morning here on Sunday.
oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, we don't need to be blinded.
You stay up entirely too late.
Welcome to my world. It's called insomnia, and I took the new sleep pill they gave me, which is called um melatonin. It doesn't touch the sides. I don't know what it's meant to do. It's meant to tell my brain it's nighttime. Well, yeah, my brain says, well, yeah, it's actually lock sport time.
Yeah.
It's quiet in the house. I don't have to do anything else. The dogs and the cats are asleep. No one's requiring my attention. This is my time, which is lock sport time. So that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, melatonin,
I
I
want to
take
show
some of
you
that,
this.
but It works a little, but it isn't. But it's really not more much of a medicine. I mean, it's an over the counter thing. You can just buy and pick up gummies for it. They're pretty low dose.
Yeah. I've got this to show you. Just get on the right screen. Um, this is a bit of, what do they call it? I don't know. It's metal, and it's the same thickness as our shims.
Oh, I want to blow this up, make you full screen. There we go.
So I brought metal.
Yeah.
It's
Nice.
the same thickness as our shims. So I measured it and, brought that thickness. It's nice and shiny. Whoa, okay, miss the sticky tape. Then I got one of these, me punch. I got a new punch, a 3mm punch. So I'm getting everything ready for challenge lock building. And I've never had a punch, so I just got that. Well, actually, I used a 4mm injector pin for that because I brought some more stuff to do, continue on with my DD picks, just to make it easier to build. I'm going to, so I bought bits that go inside bits.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to start my first challenge lock. I need to get that done so I can complete my blue belt requirement.
Yeah, and this is the 4mm one that you need for the classic abloy pick. So that's the 4mm diameter 4mm thing over there. Well, I think that's 6 and that's 4 down there. And so I got a brassy tube because to buy the ejector pin and the one where it comes in the sleeve already is a great idea because, it's a perfect fit. However, it's really expensive for one. Is really expensive. So I bought them separate. So I got the injector pin, I got a brass tube, and it fits like a glove. It is smooth as, and there is absolutely no play in that at
Oh, that's
all.
awesome. What are you going to use that for?
So this is to make the classic abloy pick. Yeah. So
Very
I
cool.
have all the parts now to complete that task that's been hanging over my head for ages. And I've always wanted to be able to do my own shims. So where'd the lid go? When I move it. When I did that, I didn't show you what I did to it. So all I did basically was just got the shim and squished it around it, and that gave me my curve.
Oh, perfect.
And so this is a longer one.
Probably a lot cheaper than buying pre-built shims.
Yeah, well, the shims have gone up. They've doubled their price since I started. So they used to be $8 something, and they're well into $13, $14, $16 for a packet, and that's just your standard Sparrows packet of your small, your medium, and your large. That used to be $8, not anymore. And that's my last one. So I thought, okay. And I've been reusing my shims, and so now I've got a nice big one. And so I'm just wondering what the difference is between them. These ones feel a little bit more rigid, the bought ones. these feel a lot thinner. So I did order them the same thickness. So I'm just wondering, are they actually the same thickness? Well, let's find out.
Huh, that's pretty cool.
Because one
Yeah,
thing I
no,
know is the lab shims are a lot thinner, and this feels like that material, slightly thinner than like micro fractions thinner, but you can feel it. You can
yeah,
feel it in the rigidity. So yeah, not happy that I don't have the rigidity of this one. Um, I don't know why, because I ordered the same. I only just got it today. Ordered the same size, so that's 0.06.
see, I found a
And
package like this of 25 of them off Amazon. I think I gave $6 for 25 shims, and they've actually been pretty good.
okay,
They're fairly rigid and have worked pretty well for me for just some cheapies. But
yep,
so far, they've done a good job. Yeah, Nola, I saw that they changed the blue belt requirements, so I need to make sure I read through that and understand everything I need. Jackrabbit out here is asking what cameras we're using because he's just using his by phone, but wanting to do a better setup. For me, the one you're looking at right now, that is actually my cell phone, but I'm using software called Droid Cam that allows me to tie it to my computer and use it as a camera on my computer. The second one that I have, this one is just a webcam. It's Logitech 1080p webcam. The only thing I don't like with using the webcam is I can't zoom the video at all. Where at least from the cell phone,
yep,
I can zoom in if I want to zoom in and get a close up of something.
yep.
But
Agreed.
that Droid Cam
That's
software is
why I
awesome.
use. Whoa. That's why I like to use the 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 phone as well when I'm doing live streams, so that I've got another camera there that I can do the proper zooms in. Because,
Yeah,
but the thing is also with the phone, sometimes you like on StreamYards. If you go on StreamYards with the phone, you can't actually zoom it because when you go to zoom it, all you do is get a bigger picture on your own screen. It just widens the screen. So I yeah. When I was on
oh,
live on my phone, I could zoom
I
in
think it works.
with it. It worked, but it was a little bit erratic. It was a bit out of control. It would
Yeah,
like zoom in too much, or not be a smooth transition, or not obey what my fingers were saying to it to do.
right. Yeah, see
These
here
shims are
on
the same
restream,
thickness.
it just I just use my pinch to zoom on my camera on my phone, and it works quite
Okay,
well.
it worked.
Yeah, works
Good.
really well. I haven't had
So
any
what
issues
I've
with it.
got is I think it's the same as yours, a Logitech 1080. Um, I've got a Rode microphone that a mate scored at the dump for me. Uh, so the webcam and
Well,
I think it's a Samsung 31, which is a really good camera on the phone. It made a huge difference when I started doing live streams to have that camera.
yeah. Well, for a junkyard find, that mic works really well.
Yeah, he got me two of them. There's another one there I could try as well. But this one's
Huh,
working fine. Is my
yeah,
voice loud enough and not too tinny and high pitched? Because I hate it when you listen back and you think that doesn't sound like me at all.
yeah. I bought this little 2-pack off Amazon of these little lapel mics. I was playing with this the other
How
day,
did
and it's
they
kind of
go?
well. That's what I'm talking to you on right now. Is one of these. I think they're working all right.
Okay,
The
yeah.
one thing I
The
found is
one
cool is
thing
you
they're
can use
not
them both at the
doing.
same time. So I can mount this one right down by a lock that I'm picking on, and you can really pick up and hear the clicks of the pins as you're working through it. It actually worked pretty slick. So
Ah,
I'm going to try and do a little bit of that at some point as well because it really works good. Break out the vise and then you attach the mic right up next to it, and it works well.
so I've been really hesitant on buying one of those. I've seen them all over the place, but I was just wondering, is it just going to be something I buy that
Right.
that is useless in the end. That
Well,
doesn't
I don't
work
know.
properly.
Does this one sound all
But
right?
yeah, I'm glad you're experimenting. It sounds all right. It doesn't sound it the it doesn't. I don't know if it's a bassy sound. It doesn't have as much bass to the sound, so your voice isn't as deep and such as it has been in the past.
Oh, well,
I
I'm
don't
going to
know
try a different one and
if
let's just see.
All
if
right.
anyone else
Better?
is noticing.
How's this microphone sound?
Wow, that is heaps different. Wow, that is really good. That has just that changed the sound tenfold.
Really?
That has really clear sound. There's no slightest distortion to your voice.
Well, maybe I'll
Well,
just have to
not to
keep
the
on this
voice,
one
to
then.
the sound last time. This one's really good. What microphone are you on now?
Well, this is actually a Logitech conference room system. So it's got a telescope up in the air mounted camera over the top of it that does pan, tilt, zoom, and then a microphone and speaker base on it.
Because you sound
So
like you now.
it's a lot more
Yeah.
expensive unit.
Yeah. But your voice is deeper, it's clearer, it doesn't have a tinny sound to it. So yeah, big difference.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, I guess what do you expect for, I think, what did I pay for these? $15 or something. They weren't expensive,
Right.
but
Yeah. But they're good for what you want to use them for. As you say, put them around, enhance the sound
yeah.
from your
Well,
pins
that was
and
kind of my
things when
thought
you do
was,
things.
you know, being able to bring them right down in with the dual, or if I ever had somebody else join me on a stream, I could hand out a microphone to somebody else and we'd each have a mic. And then it's just a
Yeah.
USB-C. It has its own dedicated receiver that you can plug in, run off your phone or off your computer or whatever.
Okay.
So they work. They do the
Does
job.
so what it plugs into the charging port of your phone, does it?
Right. Plugs into a USB-C port. And then it has a separate
Right.
USB-C port on it so you can still plug a charging cable into it.
So the issue that so it does have a hole for your charging,
Yes. So you
did
can
you
still have
say?
it plugged into a charger while you're using it.
Ah,
So yeah, it's pretty slick that way, you know, and it seems to work.
that's
But
good.
obviously, it isn't as good as some of the others that I have. You know, because I have that's one microphone. Let's see, and then let's try the other one.
Well, here's the microphone from the overhead camera.
Wow, that's even deeper. That's
That one's
that's
even
got more
better.
bass to your voice. Yeah, it is.
That one's closer to me because it's basically right over the top of me. Oh,
Okay.
what dog? My dog is whining at me, which probably means the little turd needs to go outside. What?
Off you go, puppy.
What?
Time to go outside.
Well, he can't get out on his own, so
Well,
I
go
might have
let
to
him
have you.
out.
I might have to have you hold the fort down for just a minute. I will be right back.
No worries. Can do that. So what I'm going to do here is just going to try and see if I can the feel of this new shim, and it definitely feels like a lab shim, but it's the same thickness. So obviously, these tin sheets must be graded for strength or something, and I barely knew how to read the thing to get the size I needed anyway, all the choices they give you. So I wasn't even sure if I got the right one, but I knew I got the right thickness. But obviously the metal is different because it really feels thin, but it goes in nice. I do have tensile. I do have strength there to push. I wonder if I've got the same ability to. Oh, come on, come out, Key. To be able to get this to core shim. I wonder how this will handle attempts at core shimming. That'll be the test, because that's where you need your strength. You don't want your shim collapsing on you as you try to push it through the lock. And will it go in now? Yes. No. Come on. In you go. Hey, puppy. My puppy's arrived now. I've woken her up.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, my turn. My dog's just come in and pawed at me. I've got to go take it to the toilet. Gee, good on yous. What are your dogs communicating with my dog? Now I'm getting pawed at. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Oh, I've got to go.
All right, Jack Rabbit.
I'll go
I'm the evil villain, huh? Ah, you got to find the right audio to accentuate what you got going. Oh, seriously?
Yeah. I'll let it go to the toilet and I'll be back again. Hey,
all right.
Come on.
Sounds good.
Do you want to go to the toilet?
My darn cat's trying to make an appearance. Every time I start picking, man,
toilet
shows up and tries to steal them. Likes to take my pick. He'll try and take my locks. He's annoying.
Sounds like you got yourself a lock cat.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. He'll try and take the picks right out of my hands. What, turd? I had a lock laying on the desk one day with a pick sitting in it, kind of like this. And he came up and grabbed it, pulled the pick out, tried to run off with it. I had to catch him before he stole my tools. And that's like the only time he wants anything to do with me. I pick up a lock and a pick, and that turkey is there, and he's all over it. Yeah, let's change up. Let you see the lock a little bit better coming in from above, I think. Well, he already knows how to open my doors. The last thing I need is for him to know how to pick a lock too. What? Come on then. Hello. Yeah. You're a fart.
Kids, sounds like you got yourself a lock lab manager there with your cat.
It's only when I go to pick locks. Then he shows up and he wants to try and take the tools or take the locks.
That's right. Lock lab manager.
Would you stop it? All right. You're too much. You got to go down today.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, I know.
Cat is on a mission.
He's persistent.
Cat's on a mission.
That's a canine conspiracy. Grouchy Lenny said now his dog is bugging him to go out. I think they're psychic or psychotic or I don't know. There's something.
Yeah, they're all a bit of that.
They're all a bit of that. Yeah. Yeah. At least they weren't getting me up all night last night. They tend to get me up sometimes 2 to 3 times a flipping night, get me up lying out.
Oh, can they not hold it?
They're little dinky tiny dogs, and no, they can't. Or maybe they won't. I don't know what it is. But then, of course, they're not enjoying this morning because it's kind of chilly out. Where are we at today? Right now, we are 1 degree currently.
Oh, that's cold. And they really want to go out in that.
Well, the dogs I have are like mini huskies. So super heavy, thick hair.
There's such a thing as a mini husky.
Oh, yeah,
my
man.
God.
I showed a picture
how could you put that bowl of energy into something smaller and make it even more energetic?
It's got the same kind of energy. They talk to you. They don't yell. Or don't bark, really. They talk. They chew you out if you can breathe in 2 minutes. It's ridiculous. But they're kind of fun.
And their tantrums are huge.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've seen the tantrums the huskies chuck, and they're like, oh, my God, they just talk about drama queens.
Yes. Yes, they are. And they shed just like a husky. But the little one, she's only about 8 pounds, 7.5 to 8 pounds. So she doesn't like being outside much. She gets too cold. The big
that's
one.
little. That's like 4 kilos. That's the size of a cat.
Oh yeah, they're tiny. They're tiny little things.
Wow. Oh my god. So they would constantly look like baby puppies.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody, that's what everybody
Huh.
usually thinks, that they're just puppies.
Like baby huskies.
Yep.
And the husky's going, I'm a full grown adult, and starts to tell them off.
Yeah, that's about it. And they're somewhat antisocial. They're not real big about people. If they don't know you, they don't want anything to do with you.
Okay.
No.
That's fair enough.
Nice and crisp, cool 73 degrees here. Yeah, yeah. My wife, I'm lining up to go to some training for work, and my wife is trying to convince me that I need to talk the boss into sending me to Florida for it.
She wants time to herself, does she? She's trying to get you out of the house, mate.
Oh no, she wants to go with. That's why she wants it in Florida.
Oh, she gets to do the trip too. Oh, yeah, I see her
Exactly.
thinking
Well,
now.
usually if I go on
Oh,
a
I
trip like
gotcha.
that, yeah, she'll come with and hang out and do her thing. But
Nice. So Florida, that sounds like a holiday destination. Like it's not all full of swamps and gators, is it? Like there's nice places there. It's not
there's nice
all full of
places there, but
mosquitoes,
there's definitely gators there too. Yes.
and stuff.
Let's see.
Like the whole place isn't a swamp, is it?
No, not all of it. Which screen is which? There we go. Here, I'll show you a picture of the. So there's the 2 dogs and my 1 cat, to give you an idea of the size of these things.
Huh.
The cats are bigger than the dog.
Tiny. But they look like proper like proper dogs. That's not the right terminology. Yeah, they're proper dogs, all right. Yeah, got proper dog,
yeah, right.
not one of those dogs, them little yapper things that don't look like a dog at all. Yeah, you got proper dog there. Even though it's little, it looks like a proper dog.
Yeah. Oh, you can't come in here and steal the tools, cat.
What are you getting behind there for? How am I going to stand up? Okay, my dog's decided she needs to be really close to me at the moment.
Quit.
Okay.
Ouch.
Attacking the lock lab. Attacking the lock lab. Security.
I know.
Security.
And then I try to move out of the way, and then he ends up biting me. There's actually, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, hey, wrong camera. That dimple in the end of my lock, that's from the cat.
Yeah, definitely a lock lab manager, that cat.
Oh. Yeah, we're supposed to get another drop in temps, I guess, too. It's supposed to get, I think it's supposed to drop all day today, so we're probably going to be into the negatives here before too long. Ooh. Oh no, Monday. Now they moved it out to Monday that the temperatures are supposed to drop.
Well, we're still in a bit of a heat wave here. We've still got temps going above 35 and stuff. So 35, 40 degrees, whatever, over 100, I guess you'd call it in Fahrenheit. Yeah, we're still got heat wave on. So we're just, I've been crooked. I was going to say I've been crooked as a dog all week, but yeah, I've been crooked as a dog all week. I've had my head in a bucket. I haven't been able to do anything. And
Monday's supposed to be 1 degree for a high, minus 14 for a low. So yeah,
I
we've
think
got
heat's getting to
more
me.
cold coming. You know, I don't know how that cat expects me to get my lock picking down. Keeps annoying me. You know, this Goofy Master 150. Just a little orange belt lock, but this thing gives me a challenge it seems like every time I pick it, the pins feel completely different than they did the time before.
A 150.
Yeah.
Is that a brass lock?
Yep. Yeah, little brass body. It's a nice little lock. I really like it, but it's a challenge. I can't rake it. Never been able to rake that stupid thing. Of course, I'm not exactly a good raker. I can rake white and orange belt locks, and that's about it.
Yep. I've never dedicated any practice to raking. I admit, in 6 years, the only raking I've done is when I absolutely have to for a challenge or a lock that I just can't single pin pick. If I'm in the field, I'll do raking. That's the only time I'll do raking, and I'll go up to a lock and I'll think, please rake, people are watching, and and then I'll end up having a single pin pick because I haven't practiced the technique of raking, so I'll go back to single pin picking.
I've spent enough time doing that on the white and yellow belt locks that I can rake those faster than I can pick them. But
Yeah.
I get above that, I can't. These guys I see that are raking Packlock 98 Pros, it's like, how the heck do you do that?
Really bad bidding. That's how you do it. So
Yeah, you've
they're
got
not
to
going to
really
be raking
pick the
anything
lock
with
you're gonna
really
rake at,
high
yeah.
pins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything with 0 lifts, you try and rake that. That's overset straight away. You got no chance of raking that either. So
Right.
it's the bidding. Because I've got some pack locks here that I reckon I could rake this one. It looks like someone's taken a chunk out of the key with their mouth. So that's like,
Oh man, yeah.
yeah, all those lows and then like 2 highs. So out of 7 pins, they're like 1s or 0s.
There's a
And you've
there's a
got
pack
a high
lock
cut, high cut, high cut,
key
low
that
cut.
I've got, and I want to figure out. I need to fix the core. Somehow I jacked it up, and I can't turn the core anymore. But that was a fun one because of the bidding on that key. See
Yeah,
this?
that's a mountain range.
See this webcam doesn't like to focus real well when I go close up. But if I
Yeah,
kick
you've
the
got to
water
do
down
it slow. It
my
doesn't
phone,
like it. You got to go
see my
up and you got to back off and then you got to go back in and then you'll get
yeah.
it.
See, my phone does a great job,
Yep.
but the overhead camera just doesn't. But I don't know what I did. I think I took it apart, and I think when I put it back together, I must have put pins in the wrong spot. And I just haven't taken time to throw it in the vise and try and pick it so that I can get it open and turn so I can take it back apart and fix it. The key won't open it anymore.
Yep.
I just threw a different core in it and felt good.
Now the cat's in here doing the skiddy run. There's not enough room. I've got a meter of space to work in here. There's no room to do a skiddy run. The dog is behind me. The cat's only awake now because the dog's up and I'm in the lock lab. Like, I've woken the animals up. Oh, well, that's my other pack lock that's got gnarly bidding.
Let's see. The one I'm currently picking, it isn't too bad. We'll go back to the other. Because see, even if I try and do that, come up and then ease out, it kind of did it. That one's not.
That one's all right.
That one's not a bad
That'd be
pick.
a nice pick once you get the hang of that one. Got
Oh,
this
I've
one
got that
from
one down
Cranky.
pretty well.
This is my latest one. I won this one from Cranky Lock Picker.
Oh yeah.
I was on a winning streak. Check it out. That's nice bidding. That's got some. That's a happy bidding. That's going to be a nice pick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got that pack lock of mine down pretty well. The other day I did a video on that one, and I opened it in 13 seconds. And I think I can get faster.
Nice.
I think I can beat that yet. But Lady Locks is like, oh, you need to go out and go for the lockpick record on that one. Yeah. Do you know how fast somebody has opened a pack lock 98 Pro?
It's probably 2 seconds.
6. And I'm like, there is no way I'm getting to 6 seconds. No way.
6 seconds. So what I'm finding with this stuff, it's problematic when we're getting towards the end here. I've got a really high pin 1 here, and it's doesn't have the strength. Like, I have to. Yeah, you got to really get it at the right angle. You really got to be upright with it. If you are not upright with this, if you're slightly off, it's going to collapse on you. So you're putting it like that, and automatically your finger wants to push up. So you've got to be aware that it's your finger's going to do that. Got to keep it level.
So where did you get those pick? Are those pick handles part of the pick itself, or is that something you made, or what? Those are cool looking. I like those.
The big handles are from Bare Bones Lockpicking.
Bare bones. I like those. They look neat.
Yep. Yep. So if you go to barebones.com.au, bareboneslockpicking.com.au, AU for Australia, you'll see their website.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they've got on their website. I haven't been on their site for a while. What changes they've made, what new stock they've got, if they're still doing stuff. But even if it's not in the store, you can ask.
Yeah. The only real problem is the shipping costs out of Australia are just ridiculous.
Well, yeah, it is. Depends on
It
what
is.
you get, but
Yeah.
you can always do it through me, and I can try and get the shipping a bit cheaper.
I've got my storefront, and I've got contacts now. I can start, if I want, I can start selling multi-pick. And I've been thinking if I want to do that or not. I've got to buy a decent amount of inventory in order to make the shipping worth it. So it's a pretty good expense up front. So I just got to figure out if it's going to be
big
worth
expense,
it. Would be interested
like
in those
with
or
a
not. But
multi-pick, like that is Europe's top of the range stuff. So
right.
And that stuff is the most expensive stuff you can buy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to start putting the most expensive stuff in your shop. You might
Well, I'm not starting. I've had my
stuff.
store up for a while. I'm selling my
Okay.
dog leg picks on there. I'm selling a bunch of Southern Specialty stuff on there.
So you've got affordable stuff on there as well.
Right. And that was kind of my goal, right? So, hey, they're finally opened. Holy crap. That was my goal. So I've got a custom set I've kind of put together with Southern Specialties that's kind of a beginner to intermediate. You know, comes with one of these decent leather cases, and then I have their lower end, the starter kits and things like that. So yeah, I've got quite a bit on that.
So what sort of store is it? When you say you got a store, what do you mean? Is it in the machine? What do you mean?
That's just greyhoundpicking.com is my storefront. And that's where I've got like my coffee mug with my logo on it and a bunch of stuff, and then a bunch of picks and shims and pocket kits and things like that on there. And then I've got my set of that I kind of put together, these dog leg picks, we call them.
Yeah, they're great.
And
I thought they were awesome.
there. I've got some new ones on the way. So
what do you mean? Some new ones? New design?
Well, similar. It's still the dog legs, but
something to add to the 3 set you've already done.
I had some people report a possible issue with these where they were twisting sideways a little bit because they're so thin material. So I've got another one coming now that the hoop starts back a little further and they're a thicker, heavier material all the way out to make them a little stronger. These are great. I like them, but a little stronger ones that wouldn't be bad. And then another one with a deeper hook.
Oh, yep.
And then also,
are they going to have the doggies on it?
Yep.
Yep. So does that mean that all the picks that you sell from Southern Specialties have your doggy logo on it?
No. The only ones that have that on it are the ones that I worked with them on the design and having them make it. They're making them for me. So those have my logo. The only place you can buy those, the dog leg picks, are off of my site. You can't buy them from Southern Specialty site.
Yep.
So the other stuff that I'm getting, like I have their elephant trunks that has their logo on it. And then most of their locks, most of their picks, you know, like their rake and stuff, they're not branded at all on these, but their elephant trunks are branded and then have the sizes on them. And then mine have the dog leg, the dog face, and then the sizes on them. They come in 3 different sizes.
Yep.
So
Lenny, you need a US importer for Lockwood. You've got one. Who is it that set it up? Lady Locks would know this. She remembers everything. it was one of the lock sellers, lock something. Someone will know who. GK Man, are you there, mate? Who's selling Lockwoods in America now? Because I know it's happening. There's one person's doing it.
That's kind of what I was wanting to look for is, what's something that's not normally available here that people are interested in, and I can see what I can work out to look at those, and because I don't want to get in the line of trying to pull something in that nobody's interested in. We only have a couple people here that I know of that are selling the multi-pick. Is kind of why I had thought that. The big one for them is actually up in Alaska.
Ah, yes, that dude in Alaska that's selling stuff. Yep.
Right.
Yep. So, I'm just wondering if that's the dude that's selling Lockwoods. I'm not sure. But yeah, Lockwoods are available, I'm thinking. This is really starting to annoy me to get this last pin. It's not happening at all. We might have to get the rake out.
Who knows? Maybe that's what I'll have to try and do is what you're doing there. Go in and single pin pick my way with a shim and see if I can't. Wonder if it'd be easier in a vise.
Yeah, it would be, because because having three hands is not easy. Having the third hand would be good, just so that I can control this shim that doesn't want to move. Oh, it just moved. Are we in? Almost.
Yeah, my wife wasn't real happy about me starting a storefront.
How come?
From a tax standpoint, it's a pain in the rear. But I'm using Fourth Wall for my store hosting, and they take care of all the sales tax and all of that. So I don't have to at least mess with that. I just have to mess with it on the income tax side of it. So I don't have to have the business license and all of that at my size anyway. Yet I don't need it.
Yep. So I'm wondering what I've ordered wrong, so that this is not as stiff as the other stuff. It's probably got something to do with metal gauge or something like that I don't understand.
Or the type of metal that it's made out of, maybe. I don't know. You're finding that rolled stuff isn't quite as stiff, huh?
It's really affecting my hand now. I'm gonna have to get the vise, and
it'd be interesting. I don't know how well that would work, but once you get it formed and shaped, I wonder if you tried to heat it up and temper it a little bit, if that would stiffen it.
Ah, that's a good point. I wonder.
Heat it up and then either oil or water bathe it, either one. Probably water'd work fine for that. Not like you're building a knife out of it, but at least that would harden it. But that might make it brittle too. Who knows?
Ah, yep.
You just never know.
Yeah, I've never really worked with metals until I got into lock sport, coming from a carpentry background.
Yep.
The only time we did metal was when we put up the fence.
Woodworking.
We
not
just
a lot of
used
metal.
channels.
A little bit, a little welding and such, but never actually trying to build shit out of it.
Well, I never got into it enough to understand it. Like, stuff we were putting up that was metal was, just channels and things for fencing and pergolas. When necessary, most of the time we worked in wood.
Yeah.
When someone said they wanted, metal posts, we all looked at each other and went, "Oh no."
Yeah. Now I grew up on a small farm, and if things broke, we had to be able to fix it. So if it was building a new axle or welding things back together or whatever, we were doing it. Couldn't afford to go buy the new stuff. Oh, you're back, aren't you, Cat? Yeah.
Yeah, we heard it. Meow.
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 He's got
Hey,
the
Puss.
quietest. I don't know if his voice just never fully developed or what, but he's the quietest cat. That's about as loud what you heard there. That's as loud as he gets. Yeah.
This is weird. This plug's coming fully out, and I haven't even got the shim fully in. Like, what is going on?
Ah.
Have I got the shim in? And it's just... That was weird. It's not turning, but it was coming fully out. Like, come on, what are you doing? Oi! There it goes. Where is the shim gone? Something's wrong. Something's weird. Something's very weird.
I might have to give that.
All right, there's the shim backed up to the top of that, so it's there. So, but why wouldn't it turn? That's weird. Okay. Back you go. You're actually stuck on something.
Now he's trying to bite my vice. Cat?
I told you, it's the Lock manager. You need to let him do stuff. He needs to just go and explore, make sure everything's fine, satisfy his curiosity, and then he should, curl up next to you, put his head on a lock and go to sleep. That's what Chris Capune's first Lock Lab manager used to do. Had a favourite S&G, massive big padlock she'd like to put her head on as a pillow, the wonderful Suki. And she was a great Lock Lab manager. She was always just right there, just off camera, just there for him. And it was great. She supervised all buyings, approved trades, did all sorts of stuff.
Here we got some more going to join us today.
Oh, he finally pays attention to the back room, right?
Hey,
Hey, Broken Stew, what are you two? Oh my God, you two are together. Oh
Yeah.
my!
Doesn't that sound about dangerous?
That sounds like a good time to me. It sounds like a good lock picking time to me, or a lock shimming time.
Yeah.
You're getting into some cuffs. You're gonna cuff each other and you're gonna.
That just sounds
gonna
wrong.
Play cuffs.
I was like, why did she put that tone? Right.
It sounded better in my head, but then it came out. Sorry, lads. My brain went somewhere else. And yeah, let's just scrub that. Can we rewind and we'll start that bit again? So you guys gonna practice your cuff escapes.
Get a little more volume. I guess that's nice.
Haven't had a chance to watch your interview yet, bro, but I will get a chance. I was about to do it, and then I saw Greyhound come on live, and I thought, oh, I watch Greyhound, and yeah, but it's one of those tabs that's up on my screen, waiting to go.
Yeah, the interviews are the one thing I can put on in the car and listen to while I'm driving. When I do anything else, I think I want to look. You know, I can't you're like, oh, here I'm shimming, and I'm like, whoa, what are you shimming? So.
Yeah, we're not allowed to listen to stuff like that in the car. Yeah, it's illegal because it means that our phone is on. So even if we turn it on, audio, and just stick it in the console to listen to it, so it's out of sight and stuff, and we're not touching it while we're driving, it's still illegal. And what they've introduced now is AI cameras that will detect when your phone is on. So you get I think it's now a $1,200 fine.
Oh, that is just craziness.
And it's just bullshit. Like, such a police state. Don't get me started on politics.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah, let's not go there. It's like
Let's talk block. What are you shimming?
I was shimming a lot because I brought this shim stock, and I took a measurement of the standard Sparrows shim, and I measured it, and it was 0.06 of a mil, and I ordered that, and it's come, but it feels like the lab ones. It's as thin as the lab ones, so it's slightly. It must be a micron or something thinner, because it doesn't have the stiffness of
Yeah.
now. And like that, I can do that. It's fine. I'll do that with this one, and we're just gonna collapse straight away. So, not. I guess it holds a little bit, but like when I was like watching Paul Springer and his shimmer lock, he has to hold these thinner shims, lab shims, quite differently to get it in to how we would use a stiffer Sparrows one. So yeah, he has to hold it from the side and push it in like that. Whereas with the other ones, we can go right up the back and just go in from that angle. But with these, you have to change the way you do it.
Steal
And
everything.
so just a practice of that, and it works. So I'm happy. So now time to pick a lock.
Yeah, I just tried to shim a lock. It didn't go well yesterday. So
Yeah, this isn't going well for me either.
I gutted the 5200. It was an absolute disaster, man. It was a nightmare.
Oh
for me.
no!
Yeah.
Oh
no!
no!
Just me struggling with like, what the hell do I do right now? Because I'm trying to keep this on camera, I'm like, okay, well, I guess this is what I'm trying. So
Yeah. I think I had this one apart, gutted it, and I think when I put it back together, I must have put the pins in the wrong order, so the key doesn't work anymore. So I've been trying to shim it so I can get the dang thing back open so I can redo it, but I have not had any luck.
Yeah, you're gonna have to caution it. See, your cat's happy now. Look, he's settled. He's just supervising as a lock lab manager should.
Really?
He
Does
wants
that
to
look
be
like
your
he's
lock
just-
lab manager.
does that look like
Yeah,
she's
you got to
settled down?
use that pick, Dad. See that? He picked your pick. He chose your pick for you.
Stop
It's
it.
a lock lab manager. He's been watching you. He knows what he needs to do.
I
Let him
know.
do his job. It's a happy kitty. What's his name?
This is Gizmo.
Gizmo.
Can't feed him. Don't give him water after midnight.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, don't be
There are
doing it.
times I've been woke up in the middle of the night with him and the other cat just doing 5,000 miles an hour around the house. I don't know how an animal so little can make so much noise.
I said the same thing about our new cat. It's like, mate, he's a bit noisy.
No.
Like when he does his zoomies, he just seems like a little thunderous little elephant running through the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter's cat tries to murder me at night. Comes running out from
Oh,
under
no.
everything and poking my legs while I'm trying to walk out to have a cigarette.
Yeah.
So
About the
what are
only
you
time he
doing
wants
over there at
anything to do
Stu's?
with you
Or is
is when
Stu
I'm
over at yours?
I'm
What
over
was
at
that,
Stu's.
Greyhound?
I had to get out of the house.
Yeah, every once in a while we need that, right? Get
Yeah.
the heck out.
Yeah.
So what do you think of his
grandson
little
was sick.
lock lab up there?
He's got a little setup for sure.
It's cool, isn't
It's
it?
pretty nice. It's got more room than I do,
On.
for sure.
So my packages didn't show up yet. They're broke. They got lost
Oh.
somewhere. I don't know. They're
Jeez.
supposed to be, both of them were supposed to show up yesterday. Neither one did.
Ah, crap. That reminds me.
Hey, well, thanks for stopping by, Grouchy. We will catch you later.
Grouchy, I sent
Take it
your
easy.
letter out in the mail today. Oh, thank you. Sure.
I haven't pulled up and looked at the tracking on what you sent me yet to see where that one's at. I got to swap you around because I need. Lefty is just awkward sometimes. You know that? There we go. Yeah. I should just do this in hand, but I'm trying to learn how to use a vise a little bit. I am not
We
good.
were just talking about that.
We just had that conversation before we got on, man.
Yeah.
We're
I
Don't
in
do
that-
what I
prefer
do.
in-hand picking, but as you get up in some of these harder locks, you just kind of have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
Grouchy
bullet. I'm
says that,
using the
Grouchy
vice
should
more.
get his envelope today. Apparently you got something coming from Grouchy. Hey.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Oh,
an envelope coming.
Grouchy, I got to get you some locks out.
He said broke the ears should show up today.
Sweet.
Your Mountain Dew Nola's at the store. You just gotta go pick one up.
I don't know.
Talking to his kid or something.
Oh, Nola is saying, "Where's my damn Mountain Dew, Stu?"
Oh,
So I was telling him
Hey.
it's at the store.
come through. I provide refreshments, man.
Right? All he's got to do is come up here where it's cold and snowy and
Yeah.
Yeah, get your butt out of my face. Go. Get.
Noah just has to come help me shovel.
Ah, you got snow.
I like how it looks like I actually have a face still.
You got a happy face on. It's a happy lockpicker.
Yeah, it's the Swisher happy face.
So what are you lads going to get up to?
Just hanging out, talking locks,
yeah.
Yep.
trading out some stuff. Got stuff for him. He brought stuff over.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's good
see,
that you got someone
Brooke's
so
playing with
close.
the handcuffs now too. That's kind of cool. I need to get
What's
me a
that?
pair.
What was that?
Broke's getting into the handcuffs.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know if I would be all right with it because spend enough time in them, you get a little paranoid. But I'm having
Yeah, you don't need
That's-
those memories coming back to you.
I think it's a little different when you're in control of it.
yeah, it makes the whole situation a lot more pleasant.
For me, it's taken away a lot of my claustrophobia and I got an issue about being restrained, from my past. So I like it's
Yeah.
but it's taken away. Even when I was cool with a cop, they could put the cuffs on me. If I knew I wasn't going to jail, they were gonna take. Just having cuffs on me panicked me. Now I could care less. I could walk around with them on me all day long. Like I know I'll get out of them. So
I think I'm ready to step
Hey,
up to
Newhouse, welcome to the chat. I think we are all doing good today. Yeah, see, I don't have that kind of claustrophobia because I was always on the other side of the cuffs.
right. I went and watched your video. I told you that, right? I went and watched your video.
Yeah.
When he was on Cops.
wait, what?
Yeah, at
You were on
Sturgis.
Cop. You're famous.
Oh,
Yeah, that was my that was one of my ventures into television. I've been on TV a couple of times, but that was the one that was the big one.
This is better than finding out that Newhouse used to rap.
Oh, I tell you though. It's pretty
G'day,
it's
Chuck
pretty
Swift.
frightening
Welcome,
because
mate.
I don't know how old was I back then? Man, that was a long time ago. I was just a young guy.
Oh, that's really cool, man.
Yeah, I was that
Chuck
naked
Swift
guy
was-
running down the alley saying, "You're never going to get me, copper."
I was gonna say
Oh, that one.
I'm surprised.
Fucking butter.
I'm surprised I wasn't on that end of an episode at some point. So.
It was kind of fun, but the funniest part of the whole thing is they were bored over in Sturgis because it was Wednesday, which is usually the ham and jam and all the stuff going on the Wyoming side. So they came over and they asked if they could ride with us, and one crew came with me, and the other crew went with the sheriff himself, and they ended up using all of my footage and none of his. And he was so pissed off about
I
that.
bet you that went over
Took
real
that out
well.
on me for a long time, man. He did not like that.
I was like, how often did you drop that one? Just be like, yeah, remember my footage is good.
I would have loved to have gotten an uncut copy of the footage that they took, but it would have been a XXX video.
Oh, I bet.
Wyoming
See,
side of
that's
the world
probably
was
why
pretty insane those days.
That's probably why they put
Yeah,
your story
I've done
up
some
and not
unintentional
Elevator's.
ride-alongs.
Unintentional.
Yeah.
That was long enough ago that we didn't have cages in our patrol cars. So if I arrested somebody, they sat in the passenger seat next to me, so I could smash them with my flashlight if I needed to, if they got out of control.
Yeah, I often contended the cages were for us.
Yeah.
So like I'm happy, man. Yeah, put that cage up there.
Yeah,
I don't want
I had one guy go a little nuts on me, and he got angry because I wouldn't stop at a gas station and buy him a hot dog before he got to jail. and somehow he
Oh,
got
you
twisted in
mean
that
it?
seat and was kicking me, and I slammed on the brakes, got to the side of the road, reached across, and opened the passenger door and just dumped him out.
I
Came
I
around.
blame I
He was
blame
hanging
stupid
upside down by the seatbelt.
I blame stupid cop shows where they always stop off at get fast food for the person that they're taking to jail or whatever. I'm like, stop doing
Right?
that because
Yeah, that never happens.
yeah, no,
That
Not
you're
doesn't
really.
setting
happen.
you're setting a bad standard.
Exactly. You know, I was like, no, I'm not stopping. Yeah, but the jail food sucks. I
Just
just want
pull
hot
over
dog.
and have a cigarette.
Yeah.
Oh, and this was right after the guy told me that if he would have known that there was a gun in the truck that I pulled him out of, it would have gone down different. But yet then he wanted me to stop and buy him a dang hot dog. Yeah, buddy.
It's like, yeah, no.
Hey man, I would have shot you if I could have, but
Yeah, hot dog.
can you do me a solid?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
They were
that's a
fun
lot.
times. I enjoyed it. I had a good time when I did that job.
Well, you've got something to show the grandkids, right? You know, like Granddad was on telly once. I was chasing this perp down the street. He didn't have his kid on, but you know, it made for good footage.
Yeah, there was a lot of crazy stuff, man. I tell you what, it used to be, well, where I'm
Did you
at in
ever have
Wyoming,
someone
it
get
is,
out of cuffs? Did you ever have someone escape cuffs? Get out of it?
no, I never had anybody do that. I had a guy bail out of a car and run one time with a gun, and then he tried to hide it in a snowdrift to hide it from us. So after we got him picked up and got the gun found, we weren't very nice. We just took the gun, all still covered in snow, and put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in evidence. So when he got his gun back, it wasn't in very good shape.
Good times.
Oh,
Ooh. Yeah, yeah, that's hard. It's hard because you guys don't clean those. My buddy Stu here, he had an incident where a guy fleeing the police actually ran into his house and got in a shootout with the cops. And got a hold of one of Stu's guns, and like it took him forever to get the gun back. And the guy used it on himself at the end because he wasn't going to jail. And there was still things that needed to be cleaned out of it. You know, like
Yep.
14 months
Ew.
later, that it was like, oh, that's gross.
Yep. Well, you know those little
Yeah.
desktop black powder cannons you can buy, you know, they're almost like a toy gadget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually went to a suicide one time where a guy killed himself with one of those.
What?
In his pickup, he set it on the back of the seat next to him and burned 3 minutes of cannon fuse while he sat there and waited for that thing to go off.
That's commitment.
That's commitment. That's right.
That's
was
that's
crazy. It was crazy.
That, and there's a little bit of like, well, I'm gonna do it how no one else did. All right, you know, there's just that little piece of that person's mind.
But it's like I started saying, where I'm at out here in Wyoming, it's all oil and coal and natural gas. And the oil and natural gas side of it is a very transient workforce. So you've got new people cycling in and out all the time.
Mhm.
And it doesn't exactly bring the highest quality individuals, if you know what I mean. So it gets a little hairy out here on occasion.
Oh yeah, I bet. That's what it's like in Alaska too. You know, everybody goes out there to the oil fields to hide. You know.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Exactly right. Because they know that these people, they need workers. They're not going to ask too many questions. They'll, you know, you can disappear out there. So we get a lot of that. Funniest one there I think I ever had is I got called out to an oil rig one time that they were telling me how a guy had gotten fired and he came back and was angry and they were afraid of the man because on an oil rig there's these big tongs that you run for clamping on the pipes when you're putting them together, and that's a two-man job. Well, this guy ran them by himself.
Oh,
and
Whoa,
I get out
he
there
was
and literally the
massively
entire crew is up the derrick hiding. And the guy's nowhere to be found. He's gone. We get him down and I ask him, so what does this guy look like? And well, he's 6'4", he's 260 pounds. And when we last saw him, he was wearing a mini skirt and pumps.
What?
And I about died laughing. All you big, strong, macho oil guys are hiding from this guy? So we went roaming, we found him, and yeah, he was one of the biggest son of a guns I have ever seen in my life. And yeah, he was interesting. We dealt with him for a couple of months before he moved on and left. But
what was with the outfit? Did he just he got
served
caught
summons for
short
a couple
or something?
people.
What was with the outfit? Did he explain his outfit? Because it doesn't sound like it was complete to me.
Oh, it
Sounds
was.
like he was
Yeah,
missing
that
that,
was.
missing a
I mean, you'd
handbag or
find him.
something. He was
He lived
missing
out of
one
his
part.
pickup. You'd find him parked places, and he'd get out wearing a nightgown. And I mean, he was a transvestite.
Each
He
to their
believed he
own.
was a woman. He was trying to save
Okay.
up enough money to get surgery.
Oh, that's not transvestite. Transvestite's one who likes to dress up in women's clothes. Transgender
Well,
or
transgender,
transsexual is
transsexual,
the
whatever you want to
people
call it.
that feel
But
like they're trapped in the wrong
you know,
body.
one time the local
Yeah.
PD got a hold of him, and he was using balloons as breasts in his outfit. And as they were trying to arrest him, he started fighting with them. One of them popped. Well, that ticked him off even more. So then the fight was really on with the guy. He was a strange individual. He had some serious issues, but
Yeah.
he never gave me any trouble. I never had any problems with him.
Wow.
But,
Characters.
you know, like that's just an idea of just kind of the
Life of
oddities that we run into here.
Well, we have a town here called Cooper Pedy, and it's in the middle of the desert, and it's halfway between here in South Australia and the top of Australia, where I am directly up above us is Northern Territory, so it's halfway between us and them.
Hey, we're gonna bounce, so we can hang out, but we're gonna watch.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for stopping in, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I just wanted to at least say hey.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Is.
Have fun. You know, don't play with too many cuffs together over there.
Yeah, and if you do, put it on film. We want to see it.
We may not want to see that.
Yeah, but
EMS transport let you smoke a cigarette before they moved you to the big loony bin, huh?
Oh,
that's
great.
funny. Yeah, it's been an interesting ride. I've had a lot of fun in my years of playing different roles.
Yeah. Well, Cooper Pedy is a place, it's a mining town, and it's in the ground, shafts, individual claims. Yep. So you don't have big business out there. You've just got individuals staking claims, digging in the ground, getting out opal. They're going for opal, right? And there's shafts everywhere. Like you can't go off the main road because you could drop in a shaft.
Oh,
so you can't walk around at night time. You get lost. You could end up down a shaft. So the thing here is if someone goes missing, it's like, you'll never find them. They're down a shaft. Yep. So many people have gone missing up there, and people go there to get away from the world and to do other stuff. It's a place where things like you pull up at the servo and a ute pulls up beside you and it's full of dynamite. And it's like, isn't that stuff supposed to be in a protected case or something? They just break all the rules up there. And yeah, they do what they want. It's quite I wouldn't say it's lawless. I would just say that it's a place unto its own in that if something goes down in the town, the locals will handle it.
Yep.
Which means down shaft. And no one's seen the person. No one was last to see the person. The person's just, probably gone back to Adelaide, or they've gone up to the Territory, or, they've gone across to Western Australia to their goldfields or something. They've probably moved on. People go, oh, right. As you say, the transient nature of the job. And, so people don't think twice of, they've moved on. Oh, they've just left their claim. Oh, well, it's still their claim. They've still paid for it. So, but, you never see them again.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit here. Like you said, we have a lot of coal mining, and all our coal mining is open pit. And they've gotten a lot better on securing that and protecting it. But we had a guy at one point working out at one of the mines. He was found out that his wife was having an affair with the guy that was working on a different crew. So he hid in the back seat of the
Oh,
guy's car when he got off work, killed the guy, and then drove his car out into the back end of one of the pits to one of the areas that have already been mined, and then buried it, ran it over with a bulldozer and crushed it completely flat, and then buried it out there. And he would have never been caught, but his nerves finally got the best of him, and he reached out and confessed to what he had done. But if he'd kept his mouth shut, they would have never caught him.
Yeah. Wow. That's huge.
We get quite a few odd things like that happening around here, and a lot of people just kind of disappear. Matter of fact, we've got a missing person here now. It's been, what's it been, 2-3 years? They're almost positive that her boyfriend is the one that offed her, but can't prove it. Can't.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Can't find any evidence, or her. They have that she disappeared, and all of a sudden he was spending her money out of her account using her debit cards.
It's not half obvious,
Right.
like
Found he had gone and bought a 55-gallon
like
barrel,
it's not rocket science.
but no idea
Yeah,
where the
it's not
barrel
rocket
is. He won't
science.
talk. Have no idea. She's just gone.
Yeah, it's not like in the movies where you go, oh, that's circumstantial enough, let's arrest them. You need more than just, yeah, that's really obvious. But you need to gather the evidence.
Yep.
Or hope they confess like the other bloke did, you know?
It's been probably
Adelaide.
35 years ago, they found a woman's skeleton in a gravel pit north of our town here a while back.
Wow.
They've still never identified her. Have no idea who she was.
Wow. When I first moved to Adelaide, like 30-something years ago, I think 30 years ago, 25 years ago, in the 80s, late 80s, I think I got here. I was told by anyone I met told me, because you're new to Adelaide, just be aware of this. We are known as the murder capital of Australia for a reason.
Yep.
And what's going on is there was a group of people here, and they called themselves the family. And what they were part of was, not good stuff.
Yep.
Lots of not good stuff. And they would prey on the disabled. So one of the things they do is they befriend a disabled person, and they would then kill them and continue to claim their disability pension.
Yeah, you hear about that.
And it turned out that these people had killed so many people that they had in a little country town like 5 hours away or something, they either owned it or they rented it, and it was an old bank that was in the town. And in that old bank was a vault.
Yep.
And in that vault, they put barrels, big blue black barrels, and in those barrels were the bodies. Bodies in the barrels in the bank.
Yep.
Yeah. And the place was called Snowtown.
Well, let's see
Bodies in the
here.
barrels.
Looking at chat.
Yeah.
Matt's Lock Shop is on. Says, "G'day,
They
Pucket
caught
women."
them.
And Noah was throwing out a reminder that the 80s was more than 25 years ago, unfortunately.
Was it?
Sure feels like it was just yesterday,
Did me
doesn't it?
math for me, really? It does indeed.
I do not feel that
It feels
old.
like it's coming around again. With kids that like 30-somethings at the moment, 25 to 30-somethings,
Yep.
they're all getting into 80s stuff, and I'm thinking, oh my God, it's coming back. I left it behind.
No,
It's chased me in the noise.
I raised my daughter on 80s music, and she's like, yeah, it's so much better than what we've got now. So that's what she's at. Tom Petty is probably her favorite.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And now she's passing that on to her kids and getting them into the 80s music.
Yep. Excellent. Yeah.
80s, I remember part of them. Hey, morning, Ryan. How are you?
I also brought these little clampy things. Oh, g'day, Ryan Wilson. How's it going? You remember them?
Clampy things.
So you weren't too wasted, mate. You remember them.
So what do you use that for?
I brought these little clamps. I'm not sure yet, but I thought it might come in handy. You know how when you're searching for stuff on things like AliExpress and stuff, and you think, oh yeah, that looks interesting. What's that do? And you have a look and think, oh yeah, I could use that. That they come in handy in the Lock Lab somehow. So that's where I went. And when I looked at the picture, I thought, geez, they're huge. It's like, that's pretty cool. And they had a range of sizes. So I thought, I'll get the smaller one. And I get it, and look how little it is. It's,
Yeah, that is a little
it's a
dinky
bubby.
thing, isn't it?
I could hold a pin down with it. Yeah, I could hold a pin down with it, hold a claw down
There
with it.
you
I'm
go.
not sure. So I thought I'd mount them to my workbench outside, but since they're so little, I'll just mount them to one of my portable boards. Like these. These are $2 breadboards, cutting boards. So I thought about to here, and I'll be able to hold stuff down. When I'm cutting stuff, I don't know. I didn't really know what I was going to use them for, but I just thought, yeah, I could use them because, you know, I watch a lot of shows on YouTube to do with making things and stuff, and a lot of people use those on their bench, and I thought, that's a really cool quick release clamp. So I thought,
Yep.
yeah, pretty wild story, eh? About the bodies in the barrels, but yeah, look it up, internet it, Google it, DuckDuckGo it, Snowtown Murders or Bodies in the Barrels, South Australia. I can't remember how many people they murdered. They didn't get all of them. There were so many more missing people that just they never coughed up to.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Yep.
yeah, so that was pretty scary. So I was always known not to hang out with anyone who said that they were part of the family. Was the heads up I got, and I also got a heads up, unfortunately, about the coppers, and so stay away from them. And so I've managed to do that all my life, and it was like, don't do this, don't do that, and it's I can't live that restricted anymore. I lived that restricted. I grew up extremely restricted because of safety, and I just it took me 10 years to be able to feel safe in a house I lived in Australia. Once I returned back to Australia, so yeah, I didn't want to feel unsafe again. So I just put it out of my head and live my life and do my own thing, maintain my own safety. I do what I do for my own personal safety, and yeah, kept alive.
In the end, there's nobody responsible for your safety but yourself. Nobody else is there to look out for you.
That's right. Yep, I'd always say I was a walking deterrent, and now I've got a walker. I've got an actual mobile weapon I can use between me and someone else. They want to get to me, well, they have to get, if they get tangled up in the walker, I've got a chance of getting away, or putting a steel cap where it hurts the most.
That's right.
Because I've always been told, I'm a walking deterrent. So
there you go. I haven't checked yet, Ryan.
Ryan, really? Ryan, you saying this is supposed to have another piece with it? So you can put it in a dog hole in a workbench. Oh, really? Oh. I'll have to rethink
listening to your story about the barrel murders,
Have you guys ever listened to what the heck is his name? Oh, Mr. Ballin. He does
Who?
podcasts.
Mr.
It's called Mr. Ballin, Balen.
No, I haven't heard that.
And he does strange, dark, and mysterious stories, and he has a bunch of those out there about these different cults and groups. And man, he's got some freaky flipping stories that have happened out there. One of them up in Alaska called
Yeah,
P10 Murders or something that is just, it'll about turn your stomach. It's pretty bad. But he does an outstanding job of storytelling.
it's pretty cool.
The joys of shipping
pretty,
across the border, right, Ryan? I sent Ryan a package. It's
Yeah.
taking its sweet time getting there. I haven't looked up the tracking lately to see where it's at. It hasn't been too long, I guess. What, a week?
Yeah, it's pretty wild what other humans are able to do to other humans.
It's downright disgusting.
It's,
it really is.
Blows my mind.
Yeah, former Navy.
And how long were you a copper for? How long were you a copper for?
10 years. I kind of got tired of the politics of the whole thing and decided it was time
fair
for
amount
a
of
change.
time. Yep.
So then I went into the computer world as an IT geek.
So you just dispelled the myth that coppers were dumb. Because us Australians, the message we get from your TV shows, like from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, I'm talking because I don't watch telly anymore, so I couldn't even tell you what shows are on. But from those eras of what I grew up watching, American police shows, they always made the uniform coppers out to be deadheads,
dumb,
unintelligent. Didn't need any intelligence to join the police force. You just needed, to be able to pull the trigger. That was your your only requirement, and that was the message that kept getting portrayed in all the shows that kept getting sent to Australia. So we don't have a very high opinion of your police force, or and always portrayed, especially in little towns, that the one sheriff or copper, group of coppers, always were hiding illegal things that were going on by the officials in the town, and there was always that sort of stuff going on, and that was it was a common theme through movies and TV shows.
Well, I'm not going to lie.
When the TV shows were showing cities and stuff, they just gave coppers a really bad reputation.
Right. Well, and I'm not going to lie, some of it's not too far from the truth. So when I started off in Minnesota. And in Minnesota, they don't have a law enforcement academy. You actually have to go to college and get a 2-year degree in order to work in law enforcement. So I went to college and I got my degree. And shortly thereafter, I ended up moving out here to Wyoming. I get to Wyoming, and of course, I had to go to their academy here and take what they call a challenge exam to transfer my skills from Minnesota to here. So I had to go and learn Wyoming law and then take their test here. But their academy, you have to go to a law enforcement academy here. You can get hired as a cop first, then they pay for you to go to the academy. You can't pay and go by yourself. And it was only 10 weeks long. 10 weeks of training and you were on the street. And I was like, that is just insane. How do you really learn everything you need to learn in 10 weeks?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think our academy here is a year long.
Yeah. I had to get an associate, so I had to do 2 years of college.
Yep. Wow.
But and now I think it's up to 13 weeks of training here in Wyoming now to be in law enforcement.
It still isn't
wow,
much.
they gave you another 3
Yeah.
weeks to learn.
It still isn't much.
something.
Yeah, to
It's
learn
only
the
13 weeks.
constitutional law, the state law, all the stuff that you have to learn is just crazy. And to think of trying to do that in 13
But also how to
there's
deal with, but learning how to deal with people.
Right.
Yeah, having the
The-
skill to be able to deal with people, to be able to,
Yeah.
all the skills in de-escalation and conflict resolution, all that
That's
sort
right.
of stuff before you pull out your gun,
Yep.
like
Psychology classes. I
it's
mean, I had to take a ton of psychology courses and
that's it.
understand how the mind works and how people think and what different types of criminals, what drives them. And I still have some of the books around here around all that talks about all the
Yeah.
different psychology aspect of criminals. And it's kind of interesting to go through and read some of that and refresh, right? But I don't think,
Yeah.
Ryan, there's any rhyme or reason to
Cyber,
where
Joshua
our mail
says-
goes. It goes wherever the heck it wants to go.
Joshua says I'm an IT geek
Yep,
as
I saw
well.
that. That's
What a
awesome.
fun
Yeah,
life.
I've been doing that for almost 30 years now in IT. So I currently work for the third largest coal producer in the U.S. We used to be part of Rio Tinto. You might be familiar with
Okay.
them. They're an Australian company.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I used to work for them.
Yep. Familiar with BHP and Rio Tinto and
Yep.
Santos.
Yep. Yeah, all the things you should know before you becoming a law officer. Yeah, you're exactly right. There's a lot to it, and I really not sure that they give the credit here that they should. Hey, G Key Man, morning.
G'day, mate. How's it going? So, question, GK man. Now you're here. We've been waiting for you. About time you got in, mate. What you been doing? I thought you were here early and then you disappeared. Jeez, mate. Come on, get it together.
You're
Right,
not allowed to
question,
have a
mate.
life anywhere else.
Is there a no? She's supposed to be on Locksport
That's
24/7, mate. I thought you were. It's attached to your hip. So, GK man, the who is selling Lockwood locks now in America? Wasn't there someone who was starting to sell them? This Papays. This has got mushroom spools in it. Can be a you went and took a
nice.
shower. Doing personal care. Okay, if you have to, you have
Haven't
to.
heard
I
of that
suppose
brand
it's the
of lock
same as having to
before.
go and eat, but yeah. Yep, Papays. It's a Brazilian.
Oh, nice.
And the new frog the other day on the live got named Papays.
There you go. Awesome.
So we've got Lockwood, Avis, and Papays for the frogs. Lockwood, Avis, Papays, and I haven't named the bully. I need to get a name for the bully.
This is probably my
so
most
that'll have to be another one.
exotic lock right
Yes.
there. I can't find out anything about this lock.
What's it called?
Beno, B-E-N-O. I got it down in the
Beno.
Dominican Republic.
Beno's Italian.
But I'm searching online. I can't
Dominican
find anything
Republic?
about it.
Dominican Republic. Beno is an Italian word.
Yeah. I tried searching for that lock brand out there on the web. I
right.
haven't been able to find anything about them. So, I kind of like to look them up and see what I can learn about them. But
No.
I got that when I was in Dominican Republic last year.
No.
It's a pretty cheesy, simple little lock, but it's kind of cute, kind of neat.
Yep.
Oh, G Keyman says he has no idea because if he knew, he'd be trying to get one. So where you said Lockwoods, they're out of Australia,
Pretty
right?
sure. Yep. But I'm pretty sure that I've got to talk to Lady Locks. She's been busy. I'll just check Discord. She's available. Her mum's been really sick.
Yeah, that's what
so
I
she's
heard.
had to do the hospital thing.
Yeah, you're very right, Noah. That's what it might be. It's just some off-breed thing. It's certainly nothing special. It's a pretty cheap, cheesy little lock. But like I said, I just kind of like to look at what the history of the locks are.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I like to find out as much as I can about them. Okay, up to date on my Discord stuff now. That's just me waving back. I've got a feed going from the live webcam on Santorini. So I don't know if you've heard around Greece at the moment. There's an island called Santorini, and it used to be a volcano. Well, it actually still is a volcano, and just beside it is a volcano which is under the water, which is what happened there?
Is that where they just had all those
Which is called
earthquakes at?
Colombo. Yeah, they're calling it an earthquake storm, and because I've followed earthquake all my life because I'm in an earthquake zone, and so when they started happening, it was like, okay, let's get onto this, find out what's going on, and it's the scientists and stuff. Well, up until today. Previously, the government was just saying, "Oh, there's nothing to see here. We're just going to give you a choice to evacuate off the island. We're going to make you pay for your own exit, your own ferries and planes, and we're going to leave all the livestock and stuff on the island." And like it's just a pig's breakfast what they've done to the people, and they were just saying that it's just tectonic. Well, it's not tectonic. It's actually magma moving under the ocean in a big pocket. So magma is moving, and
that's never a good
they
thing.
were denying it until today. So now they've said today. So they said yes, it's an emergency situation, and it might go on for a month, and the earthquakes will continue. But they're not mentioning that the volcano is looking bad. It's showing signs of what when the Colombo volcano erupted, it caused massive damage when it did that, and that was a long time ago, and it caused a tsunami. In the 50s, Santorini had a massive earthquake, and it destroyed a lot of the island. I think over a third of the island was destroyed, and they're used to living on top of a volcano and earthquakes and stuff. But the locals are saying this is different. I lived through the 50s one, and this one is different. Back then it was two massive earthquakes and then a massive tsunami, and now all we're getting is earthquakes, and it's not stopping. This is different. Something is wrong. Something is really wrong. And those locals are leaving. And so when the locals leave, as a tourist, I go, all right, where's the exit?
Right,
How do I get out of here? Because they're coming up to their prime tourist season, right? So the government doesn't want to say, oh, it's going to turn to shit real bad. It's not going to be good. Don't come here, people, because you're going to end up in an emergency zone and you're going to have to be evac'd out, and that's the end of your holiday. So they're not saying that to people because it's the peak holiday season.
Well, yeah, they don't want
about to
people
start.
leaving.
They want people to keep their holidays, So... and the thing is, the modelling says that if a tsunami happens, you're looking at a radius of 500 k's inland that it will affect. So that's its spread, 500 k's.
Oh,
Now, Greece Athens is only 200 k's from Santorini. So Athens is underwater. So
right.
if I was in that part of the world, I'd be knowing where's my quickest exit to the nearest mountain, and or actually just grab a camp gear and just go up there and camp now and wait for it all to happen, because it's not settling down. The amount, like they had, like there was something like 1,700 earthquakes. They've had over 5,000 now. So
Oh man.
that's incredible number of earthquakes. And the other thing is that the earthquakes were around, apart from the initial one that hit on the 26th of January, which was a big one. The other ones have all been around 2s, 3s, around that. So constant tremoring all day long. And the locals are sick of being, shook in their beds. However, today, everything changed. It's all gone up to 4s. So there's an escalation there. So I'm worried. It's a wonderful part of the world, but the history says, because also in that part of the world where it is, all around it in the water is previous civilizations. So towns, cities have gone underwater because of tsunami and rising seas or sinking land already. There's evidence of it there. However, what's happening with Santorini is it's actually, they're saying that the ocean has receded. It has not receded. The land has risen. So Santorini has been pushed up, and it's getting pushed up about 20 mil every year. However, it has now been pushed up a lot more than that in the last week, which has receded. It looks like the ocean's receded, but it hasn't. The land's risen, and people on the other islands are going, this is not normal. We are not tidal here. We do not get low tides like this. Something is wrong. And the scientists looked at it and went, yep, you're right. Something is wrong. The land has risen. So they did it. They worked it out through satellite imaging. So they had all the images and stuff to do comparisons and measurements. And they went, yeah, it's actually risen by quite a bit. And that's not good.
No, that's not good at all.
Because that means that not only do we have magma moving under there, it's pushing the land up. So it's like time to send some love and support to people over there that are really worried about what's about to unfold in that part of the world. Because not only will it take out Greece, it'll take out everyone else around it. So you've got Greece over here, but down here you've got Turkey, you've got the whole Mediterranean, you've got, there's so much just there. Santorini is here, and on the mainland you've got, Greece, Italy, Turkey, all the other countries. So, and it will affect them all. So Turkey's taken it seriously, the threat of tsunami. They're actually getting ready now for it. So if Turkey's taken it seriously, why isn't the Greece government taking it seriously?
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Officials.
Absolutely.
I'm really sick of officials who ignore the obvious.
Right. Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
of
no doubt.
dollars. They don't want to lose the dollars from the tourist season.
No, that's
Economic.
right.
It's all
Money
about
trumps
dollars.
all.
Yeah. Because once there is a massive earthquake or a tsunami that wipes out everything, when you are a tourist in that country, you got two options. One, you can stay there and help the locals rebuild and help them get on. Or two, you can find the nearest airport and get your country to evacuate. However, to do that is really difficult because you've got no landmarks, you've got no street signs, you've got no buildings that you can identify, you've got nothing. You are a foreigner in a country, in a landscape that you don't know how to navigate.
Right.
And it's a very traumatic thing to put yourself in a disaster zone like that. And I'm speaking from my niece's experience. It happened to my niece. She went to Nepal as a teacher, and it was when Nepal had the massive earthquake that wiped out the whole country. Hundreds have died. Her students were dead beside her and stuff. And she needed to get out because she had a medical condition she needed medication for. And so she had to be evacuated out, but she had to find a way to the airport. How do you find a way to the airport when you can't navigate? So fortunately, there was satellite internet, and she was able to contact her parents, and her parents were able to navigate her to the airport.
Wow.
But took hours and hours and hours. Probably took about half a day to walk to the airport to be able to get an evac out. So just a warning, people. If you've got a holiday booked to Greece, just follow the seismic stuff, follow the science and make an informed decision on whether you should continue with that holiday or whether perhaps it would be best to defer it.
Yep, I think you're exactly right. I think I would be thinking twice.
Well, I'd be saying, well, yeah, we'll go there, but we'll go to the mountain area. Let's go to the mountains. Let's stay away from the low-lying sea. And they've got a beach there called the Red Beach. And the cliffs are collapsing into the ocean. The beach is gone. And there's starting to be some smoke coming out of the side of the mountain. Well, the volcano now. That the government is not acknowledging is active. But yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and that's so frustrating because you see that kind of garbage all the time where, like we were saying, the money trumps all, right? And they just don't seem to care about people and the lives that are going to be cost because it might impact that almighty bottom dollar.
But it's also the trauma it causes, it's generational trauma, one generation goes through that, the trauma can be passed on to the next. And it's like, you don't want to be giving people unnecessary trauma. You want them to have an informed decision. Athenians should be heading for the hills now.
Yep. That's my wife's
Just
wanting to go on
200
vacation
Ks, you're not
this spring, and we're really wondering, do we really want to leave the country right now? Especially with everything that's going on. We're not exactly the most popular out there. So maybe we should stay close to home.
Well, you can always go to one of the countries where the allies aren't pissed off yet. Like Australia.
Well,
come to Australia. Come hang out in the Lock Lab. Come pick with us, Greyhound.
I would love to come to Australia. I haven't convinced the wife yet that we should go to Australia.
Well,
because to her, it's got to be somewhere with a nice, bright, sunny beach.
Oh, yeah, we got lots of them. We got lots of them.
Sharks,
we got beautiful beaches.
So.
Yeah, well, it comes hand in hand with the ocean. It happens to be
Yeah,
full of
that's what I
sharks.
tried telling her. So it doesn't matter where you go, you've got sharks. If you've got the ocean, you've got sharks.
Yeah. And if you go up north, you've got crocs and sharks. So, just
Yeah.
get used to it. And you've got
Yeah.
stingers. So you don't actually go in the water up there, unless you're in a
That's
protective swimsuit and a net.
what
So
I do.
yeah, but down where I am
So
and on the East Coast, it's all beautiful. Same as the West Coast, it's all beautiful. Beautiful beaches, beautiful sunsets and sunrises, and it's gorgeous. So we have a
yeah.
extensive coastline. If you want to see some of our coastlines, you just check out my playlist, Locksport on Location. I've done quite a few lock picking at beaches
Yeah. I
around
would
where I
love to
am.
do that. I was always jealous because we used to do cross training things at work, and they would send guys over to Australia to work at the mine there, and some Australians would come here and work, and it was always, man, that would have
What?
been so
And you
much
never
fun to
got
do.
picked to go?
Well, because I was the
You never
IT guy,
got
not
the.
a mine worker technically, so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I got to go a few other places for work, but never up there. And so I'm trying to clean up this. I've got an old American 1100 that is just gritty, dirty, horrible, nasty. So I pulled the core out and I'm cleaning everything up. And I was just looking at this. So I was talking earlier, I bought this Harbor Freight padlock, and it's really a pretty lock. And man, it weighs a ton, but it's a gritty, horrible lock. I mean, it's pretty rough.
What's the name on it there?
U.S. General.
Ah, yep.
So I'm going to try and clean it up a little bit. But while I was playing with it this morning, I took that 1100 core and threw in there because the core is absolutely terrible. I mean, it's just complete garbage in that lock. Well, that American 1100 core fits in there perfectly and
Cool.
functions, works the lock. So at least I'll be able to put a better core in it. Then I just need to clean up. I'm going to take my Dremel and some polishing compound and clean it because it is so rough in there that turning that lock is like just terrible. I mean, it's really brutal. But I'm going to see what I can do to clean that thing up and make it a more respectable lock. Because I love the look of it. It's a very
GK
pretty
Man
lock.
says replace the spools. GK Man says replace the spools. I think he's referring to the.
What? You don't want me to put
the
those
American
1100
you've got.
spools in there?
Which spools? Which lock? The US General or the? I don't think the US General's got spools in it.
Well, I was
The lock
looking
he's
at that.
cleaning, or
I don't know how I could gut that. It doesn't have a C-clip on it. And I'm not seeing, I don't know what
it'll be
is
crimp. Yeah, you use the you use this one,
retaining it.
this follower. So you need to turn it a certain way. Oh, this one's not it, but I'll demonstrate. Yeah, so you get the follower that's got part of it cut down, so it's flat along one side, and then that flat side. So you put it in, and then turn that flat side to where the crimps is, and then it'll pass through the crimp, and you can gut the lock quite easily.
Well, but there's no C-clip on the back end of this thing. So I don't know how to release the core. No matter where I turn it, it doesn't release with the key.
Is it crimped? Is it crimped?
Not that I can see. I don't see a crimp anywhere on it. Because I would have liked to have taken it apart to see what's in it. But see, there's the core. There's the end. I don't see anything that looks like it's crimped. But they've obviously done something to it.
That's weird. So you should be able to gut that through the bottom of the lock with those holes. And then you'll
Except
be
you
able to pull
can't
apart
turn,
and see what's
the
going
key
on.
doesn't turn all the way around, so you can't get the pins to the hole.
Oh,
It stops part way. So there's something in there as a
nice.
retainer.
It's got a limiter.
A retaining pin, or I don't know. It might
Nola
be.
says it's one of those full crimps. It's like, I don't know.
So it's
one of
probably
the full
nothing
crimps.
worth messing with. But,
So GK Man saying replace the spools on the US General. The 6-pin is the core retainer and the core rotation limiter.
But how do I get the pins out?
So
in
what
order
you
to
can do, yeah, that core retainer, you may need to lift it up or push it down. One of the two. How does he get the core out, GK Man? Chuck Soup doesn't want to join the Polar Bear Club. No, it's to be a cold club.
Yeah, Broke Pick actually broke his. Broke Pick's broke his. Imagine that. He completely, his was weird. He opened the lock and then he went to put the key back in and it actually bent the pin or something in there. And I mean, his went all kind of crazy on him.
Yeah, we read that, GK Man. The 6-pin is the core retainer and the core rotation limiter. So
Yeah,
do
I'll
you
see what
push that pin up or push it down to release the core? What do you do to get that core to separate?
the core retainer, right, and the core rotation limiter. Yeah, I'll play with that a bit and see if I can figure it out here in a minute. I'm going to put this 1100 core back together. See if it's going to be anything I feel like messing with or not. But, you know, if I can put this one in there, it might not be even worth it. Because, hey, if I can replace it with 1100 core, it's probably a better core anyway.
Oh, yeah, it would be better than the
rear
US
of the
General
keel.
core
All
for
right,
sure,
I'll play with
wouldn't
that
it?
here in a minute, and I'll see if I can lift it from that rear and do anything with it.
Yeah, it'd be better than the US General for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, this 1100 core that I'm pulling out is an old lock that we had at work that they were getting ready to throw away. And man, it was stiff, nasty, gritty because it was packed full of all kinds of oil and grease and just a terrible, terrible lock. So I figured if I can clean it up and repurpose it, why not?
Give it a new life in Locksport. That's what I like to say. Can have a new life with me in Locksport.
Let's see. Key works. Good. Let's C-clamp this. There.
Right, I might pull apart this multi-lock so I can see whether it's a pinning pin thing. Don't know if it's a pinning pin or what. I'd like to find out. Let's break open the gun gear.
Get that. That stuff's from the 1100. What do I do with that? Holy Toledo. There we go. I'd lose my brain if it wasn't attached some days, I'm telling you. It's terrible.
Oh, I can't because it needs to be picked to be able to gut it. But I need to work out what it is first before I can pick it. Is it a pinning pin? Ah.
There we go.
I think it's doable.
Rotate the core counterclockwise. All right, let's see what this did to this lock. There we go. So there it is. US General lock with an American lock core. Nice. All right, so now let's look at this thing. So you're saying I want to make sure I turn it.
Rotate the core counterclockwise to keep from dropping the pins into the retainer slot.
Yeah. And then I just got to see what.
So does he need one of those followers with the half side of it gone, GQ man, to be able to do this.
Do, 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 do. Yeah, I'm going to leave that on so I can see what the heck I'm doing. I need a very, very low pick. Let's see, what
I
do I
wonder if you
have?
can rake sideways.
Rake sideways.
Yeah, because I need to core shim this multi-lock. So I'm wondering if I can rake it to core shim it sideways. That didn't work. Let's try again.
Let's see if I can see where he's talking about that retaining pin.
Not really, because the long side will be up when you push it out. Okay, so you don't need the double-sided.
Right.
You don't need the split in the follower.
I'm just
Not the split.
trying to figure out that
shape.
retaining clip he's talking about in there. Got to figure out what I can use for a tool to reach in and touch that.
So usually just going with a diamond.
When you have the key in?
No, you put the pick in and push up the pin to be able to do
Is that just the last pin in the lock? So the fifth pin?
Yeah, it's 6 pin. It's the 6 pin, and it'll feel different because it's got no driver pin on it, but it does have a spring. It would have a spring.
I don't see anything in a sixth pin. I don't see
Or
a
it might
pinhole.
not have a spring. GQ says any hook will work. Just get in there and hook that sucker. It's not working. Huh. Come on. Yes, a key in it because key doesn't reach the 6 pin.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to see how to get in there.
So put the key in and then reach in for the 6 pin.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here.
Oh, it's not working. Where's the secret? Put you back.
Don't push it out yet. Hold on. Don't push it out yet. Ah, well, you know,
Oh,
I
hang
brick it.
on.
I brick. It's not the end of the world. But hold on.
Hold on.
Do, do, do.
Shim it.
Stop. Read.
Shim it.
Yeah.
Shim it.
I'm
Shim it. Shim it. Shim it before you pull it out. You got to shim it. Always shim it. You've got to shim it to be able to keep that retaining pin up as well.
That would make
Out of the way.
sense. So I'm going to try this to make it easier for me to get to that 6th pin. I'm going to try and get the 6th pin shimmed first, and then I'll put the key in. Maybe. I might need a new shim. I might have jacked this one up too much. Let's see.
It's a skeletonized core. Oh no. Yeah. Oh, you're in trouble. Just be careful. It's a skeletonized core. It is set up to be bricked. So he forgot that he effed up so it's a skeletonized core. Shim it. You must shim it, and do not rotate it past. Only rotate it 1 o'clock. Do not go. Do not go 3 o'clock. Do not go 9 o'clock. Just either 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock, whichever way you turn in it. Yep. You turn in it
just barely enough to be able to shim that core.
Yeah, you do not want to turn that, because what will happen is with that skeletonized core, there's all the skeletons there. If you turn that, and here's your pin line, if you turn it 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you're fine. If you turn it 9 o'clock, you got all those things. And what also happens on the skeletonized core, some of them are skeletonized on both sides. Some of them just skeletonized on one side, and the other side is just cut completely flat. So that when you turn that to that 1 o'clock position, and if you go past that 11 o'clock position to the 9 o'clock where we'd normally go, then that flat side is what all those pins fall onto, and that's a brick.
Right. And then it's bricked. You're just done at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least it was only a $7 lock. So I guess if that happens, that happens,
Yeah, but we don't want to hurt a lock if we don't have to, do we? We're kind to locks here.
I understand. I'm trying here.
Joshua says you can't find the importer, but Asa Abloy, who owns Lockwood, brought Spectrum brands, and they own Kwikset in the US. Oh, that's interesting. Because they've only just brought Spectrum last year, wasn't it? They were doing the deal the year before, and it went through this year from memory. And that's a done deal now. Yeah. Because they bought Spectrum and had to give up one other or something. I remember Jason talking about it.
I am having a heck of a time getting that pin to move at all.
Do a little bit of wiggle jiggle.
Yeah, I'm trying to play with it, see if I can feel what I'm feeling in there before I get the shim in there. For a cheap lock, it's got a pretty dang tight fitting core too, because that shim does not want to play well.
G'day, Eric. Welcome in, mate. What you picking?
Hey, Eric,
what you working on? Yep, it's a huge, GQ Man's confirmed, it's a huge flat space on the right-hand side of that core. The slots on left from the front. Yep. Yeah, it's a nasty. It's definitely a nasty.
Yeah, sounds like it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, have you ever seen a skeletonized core in person, Greyhound?
Nope, I have not.
Wait till. Oh, this will be good,
I
people.
actually want to get it apart that much
In the
more just so I
chat.
can see it.
Yeah. So people in the chat, if you've never seen a skeletonized core, you're in for a treat here. You're going to see this core. When you pull this core, Greyhound, you're going to look at it and you're going to go, WTF. That's everyone's first response to it. It's like, WTF.
It's one of those that makes you wonder why go to that level of security on such a cheap lock? You know what I'm saying?
It's not security, it's cheapness. It's that
Oh
level
yeah,
of
really?
saving on materials and spending the least on it as possible. The security's in the body. The security isn't in the core and the pins.
I gotcha.
So the
So I mentioned
security's
trying to
in the fact that
diamond.
the lock can intimidate by its look and its size and the size of the shackle and
Oh yeah,
those
it's a
things
monster.
are got massive shackles, haven't they? Like 10 mil shackles or something, haven't they?
Oh yeah, it's huge. Yeah. I don't know too many places you'd actually put the lock on that it's actually going to fit.
Yeah. Yep.
There we go. Got to find the right tool for the job, right?
That's right. How can you get into this one? Oh, definitely tension wrench for the job here. Time to change it up.
You know, I was really looking forward to it. I've got a package coming from Southern Specialties with some new tension tools in it for me to play with. And I was excited it was supposed to have been here for today. It didn't make it.
Oh, I got a lucky win, and I won. I won lockjaws, not lockjaws. Lock junkies. Everyone's got the word lock junkies giveaway, and so I'm finally going to get what I've always wanted from Southern Specialties. One of their little cases, the little leather cases.
The
with
one
a
of
tension
the
wrench.
medium zip case like this one. Is it one of the medium zip cases or the little snap case?
No, I think it's just the little slip cases where they've got their longhorn tension wrenches and stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yep.
the little things they put their tension wrenches in and their little EDC kits.
Yep.
Yeah. And I won something I've been wanting for a long time to have a look at and have a play with, and that is what's it called? A jackknife. So I've won a jackknife, and out of all the jackknives I've looked at,
I
out of all the jackknives I've looked at, Southern Specialties was the only one I wanted. It was the only one I wanted because I've looked at all the reviews on everything, and that one has a locking mechanism for the picks that I really like. and that is that little swing arm that locks it. And
Yeah, this one right here.
and none of the others, all of the others have got something wrong with them to do with the locking mechanism. You know, it's a little knurled thing that you have to tighten that you can never get tight enough. It's a little thing that you never get tight enough, and that works really well.
So I've got,
Not
here's the aluminum handled version
for
of
me
Southern
on
Specialties.
Hebron.
This is the aluminum handled
Oh, it's got a
version of their
belt
Southern
kit too.
Specialties tool, and it is amazing. Because yeah, you bring that thing out and you crank that handle down, and it doesn't move. I mean, that
It's
thing is
locked.
just
Yeah,
rock
that's what I
solid.
wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I had the plastic
So I'm
handled
really looking
version,
forward to that.
and it's nice. I really like it, but the aluminum handled version definitely locks up more solid. But great tools.
Oh, cool. Okay, I think I'm
Well,
getting the plastic version. I'm not sure, but I think I am.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it. It works perfectly well, perfectly fine. Well, I'm going to have to call it a day and get off of here. I hear the missus up and moving around upstairs,
Okay.
so I better make my presence known.
Oh,
I'll
SE lock and key
and
started.
I'll try and get that thing caught on video, what I do with it. But
Awesome. Yeah.
well, you know,
Well,
I
I hope you
really
get
appreciate
it out.
you
Just
joining me this
remember,
morning.
skeletonized core.
Yeah, it's going to be
Oh,
fun.
it's
I'm
been a
excited
lot
to
of
get it
fun.
open and
Thank
see what
you.
that
I've
looks like.
enjoyed.
See how bad it kicks my rear. But
I just wanted to see your reaction. I just wanted your live
I
reaction
know.
when you saw that core.
I can't get that doggone. I'm not getting it depressed and getting
That's
the
okay.
shim in there. I might have to try a different shim. That shim just might be too damn far out.
Yep.
So
You'll get it.
yeah, we'll get in there.
Okay, Ryan. Thanks very much for stepping in, mate.
Yeah, guys, thank you much for joining in. I do appreciate it. I appreciate the interaction and everybody being here. It is wonderful. Thank you so much, Pocket Woman, for joining me. It's always fun to have other people
My
on here
pleasure.
to
Thanks
yak
for
with.
having me on.
Oh, jeez. You know, that's the problem with these magnetic handles. Everything sticks. They lock it up good.
It was fun meeting your pussycat. See,
Oh,
he finally got his way, and then he settled down, didn't he?
well,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
just had
think
to let him know that he
didn't
was the boss.
get his way. He finally gave up and left. But yeah, he does that all the time. And just like I said, he'll try and take the
Still got
tools.
his way.
One of these days, I'll have to let him have them and just follow him around and see what the heck he does with it. But I just worry about him chewing up and destroying the
You'll
handles on
find
one
your
of these nice
stash of
sticks.
stuff.
Because knowing my luck, that's exactly what it'll do.
You have to give him one own that he can just have on his own, you know, like so
Yeah,
he's got his own
right.
pick.
Get him his own pick.
He can chew it, he can
That's
do what
funny.
he wants with it. Yeah. And get him his own
Yeah, that's what
padlock
I'm
that he
afraid
likes
of,
to
though,
put
is
his
what he'll
head
do
on
with
when
it.
he's having a nap.
You know, I could just see coming out and watching him pick open a door in the house. That'd be a nightmare.
Wouldn't put it past him. Cats are smart creatures. I've seen cats undo door handles that you'd think they could never undo, like knob handles. I've
This
seen
one
a
does
cat
that.
undo a knob handle. Like, yeah.
Yeah, there's no privacy in our house because he can open every door in the place. If you want privacy, you better lock the door.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have a marvelous day. And again, thank you very much. And thanks, everybody.
pleasure.
I do appreciate you joining in. And
Oh, thanks,
that.
Cyber. Appreciate that you're doing that, subbing and liking the video.
Yes,
Excellent.
thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you. We get it up, and I'll be trying to do another golden giveaway. I'm waiting for my giveaway package that I just did to show up over there and see what he thinks of that. That was a pretty good chunk of gear I had in that giveaway, so excited to check it out.
Yeah.
All right,
Chuck
guys,
Soup says
have a wonderful day.
They were thinking that the cat was going to go around the neighborhood picking locks. Your cat
I
might
can see
be
him doing
called
that
the cat bird killer. Well, yeah.
Right? That's what I started calling him
All
on
right,
video.
thank you, man. I'll see you over at Jason's, mate. I'll be there in a minute. Thank you very much,
All right.
Greyhound.
Later on, everybody.